Well, hello everyone, and welcome to week 4 of the Family Run Club. I really hope everyone's training's been going very well because at the end of this week, we will be through our halfway mark of our training program. I'm really hoping that the jogging segments are getting easier for you and you're able to jog stronger, longer. So happy training, everyone. I really do hope it's going well. We're going to move right into our running tip for this week. And our running tip is about hydration. Now, you might think that hydration is only important during Virginia's summer months because it's so hot here. But guess what? Hydration is important all year long. It's really important to keep our bodies hydrated because keeping our bodies hydrated helps us to avoid injury. It also helps us recover quicker, and it also maximizes our performance. Our bodies need that hydration to perform well. So don't think about hydrating often just in the summertime. You need to be drinking your water all day long. So remember, stay hydrated. Now, our healthy eating tip this week, remember last week I told you I was going to share more information about fiber, what it is and how important it is. Well, I have this nifty little model I'm going to share with you. This is our grain model. This is actually a blown up grain. This is what a grain would look like. It's very, very tiny, but this is a blown up model of one. And I'm going to share with you the parts of this. This brown part on the outside, that is called the bran. And that is where all the fiber is. And the fiber is very important for our bodies. Fiber helps with elimination, and it helps keep us fuller longer. So I'm going to turn this back around. This yellow part right here, this is called the germ. This is where all the nutrients are. This is an important part of the grain model because this is where all the important nutrients that we need come from. And then we have this big white area, which is called the endosperm. And this is the starchy carbohydrate area that doesn't have a lot of nutrients in it. Well, when this goes through the processing part, like I said, we want to avoid eating processed foods. When this gets processed, this bran gets taken away and this germ gets taken away. And this is what's left. And this is a good reminder of, this is like white flour. And things that are made out of white flour are like cookies, cakes, pastries, crackers. There's no nutrients in this. There's no bran. The germ is gone, so all the nutrients are gone. And this is what white flour is made of. This does not help with elimination. So when you think of processed foods, think of this grain model stripping away all the important parts and leaving this part that's not really good for us. So that's a little bit about fiber and why fiber is important for us. It really does help with our daily elimination, and it also keeps us feeling fuller longer. So it keeps you from eating unnecessary foods just because you feel hungry. That fiber helps us keep fuller longer. So it's very important that we get our daily intake of fiber. And fiber does not just come from grains. And when you think of this, if you're thinking of grains and bread, white bread, this is where white bread comes from. You want to eat whole grain breads. You want to eat your breads that have that brown color in them because they've kept the important parts of the grain. But there are other foods that have fiber in them. There's beans, legumes, there's brown rice, and most of our vegetables have a lot of fiber in them. So just remember eating your whole foods and try eating foods that contain that fiber. It's so healthy for us to be able to do that. So that's my healthy eating tip for this week. Now, next I'm going to talk about our community run location. And this is one of my favorite community run locations. It is located at Spoken Art. And Spoken Art is located on the corner of Green Springs Road and John Tyler Highway, Route 5. It is right on the corner. You can't miss it if you're driving down Route 5 towards the Chickahominy Park. You really can't miss it. It is a neat little building. It has, they serve food there, they have refreshments there, and there's a cool deck outside that you can sit on. And if you check with them, they also have musicians that play there every now and then. But it is the location on Thursday nights for our community run location. It is at 6 p.m. There's a 5K there. You can walk it, you can run it, you can do a little bit of both. But that is a great location for a family night of running, jogging, walking together. It starts at 6 p.m. at Spoken Art. So I hope to see you there sometime. It's a lot of fun. Next, I am going to review some of our stretches this week. I'm going to move my bench so you can see. And I do have my chair here with me because it helps me. I do like to hold on to a chair when I do these stretches. So the first stretch I'm going to review is our leg swings. And you just want to swing your leg back and forth. You just want to get it loosened and warmed up. And remember, these are dynamic stretches because we're moving. You want to make sure you do that on both sides. The other great way to do this is swinging your leg in front of you, side to side. It's another great way to get your legs warmed up. And the last stretch I want to review this week is our inner thigh stretch. I'm going to step back a little bit. You want to bend your knee over your foot, but not to extend past your foot. You're going to extend your other leg out to the side, and you just want to lean in to your buttocks in the back. I'm going to do it in the front so you can see. I'm bending my leg forward. I've extended this leg out, and I'm just going to lean back into my buttocks, into the back. And you should feel this stretch in your inner thighs. So that's the review of some of our stretches this week, which means we're ready to go outside and do our training. So I'll be sharing this week's training with you next. So that means when you go outside, remember, I want you to jog a little bit, briskly walk a little bit to get warmed up, and then you can get into that training. So it's time for us to let's go run. Whew, so how was that, everyone? I hope everyone had a great training time. I hope also when you were finishing that you slowly jogged and then you walked it out. Remember, it's a great way to cool down. I also want to just review a couple of the stretches that I like to do for our cool down. And the first one is our quadricep stretch. I'm going to turn this side so you can see. If you need to hold on to something, you can. I'm just going to try to do this without holding on. You just want to bring your foot up to your buttocks, and you want to stretch out this front part of your thigh, which is your quadricep. Just hold it for a few minutes and let that stretch back out. And you want to make sure you do that on both sides. The next stretch for our cool down, it's my favorite one. I have really tight hips right here, so this is really great for stretching that hip back out. Just opening your hips back up. You just rest your foot on your other leg, and your knee just slightly dips down, and you should feel this all through your hip. It opens those hips back up. It's just another great stretch to do for your cool down. So now that we've done our cool down, I'd like to talk about our running resolution for the week. And it's a super important one, and it's about consistency. Consistency is key. If you keep your mind on that goal, maybe it's finishing a 5K. If you keep your mind reaching for that goal, being consistent is how you're going to get there and be successful. And what I mean by being consistent is trying to maintain that training schedule. Now, things happen and you can miss days, but as long as you pick it back up and stay with it and stay consistent, you're going to see success and you're going to see improvements. It also helps you to avoid injury. So that's it for our training this week for week 4. And next week, when we get to week 5, we will be at our halfway point. So I wish everyone wonderful training this week, and we'll see you next week for week 5. Bye, everyone, and happy training.